Well, we're back to cups of tea and intros. I want to talk about this. It's from Aldi. This is their Aldi brand chocolate. And normally when I go there, I'll buy 5 blocks and give everyone in the house a block each. And I eat mine first and then want theirs and they won't give it to me. I can't buy 5 blocks and eat it myself because I'll be the side of the house. But it's beautiful stuff. And I'm a Lindt chocolate guy, but I love this stuff. Anyway, that's empty. I wonder why. So, our STARlie's finished. Well, it's not finished. It'll be finished tomorrow. And I'm shooting the intro today because I feel like it. And yeah, it's all looking good. All I need to do at this point, which I'll get done tomorrow, is I need to re-bleed the clutch because the clutch is on the floor and it wasn't before. So there's obviously air in it. And it needs an aircon service, which I'm going to get done later. I'll get that done in the spring. What else? Pretty much nothing. It's ready for roadworthy. So it's a week out from holidays. We've got, let me think, this week's report writing, so there's a lot of curriculum based stuff I've got to do, and the reports themselves are easy, but the assessments, I've got a lot of assessments to catch up with. And then we're on holiday for a fortnight. The Sigma's reg is due, so I'll go into Vic Roads, pay that, and then we've got more of these COVID-19 things where I don't know what the restrictions are going to be with the shops, don't know, or Vic Roads. I want to get down there, but I need to book that thing in for roadworthy, get down there, get that on the road, pay the Sigma. And the Bluey, I got an email from Vic Road saying you haven't paid your reg on the Bluey, and I thought, what? And it was put into my name without a roadworthy, which I thought was odd, but I just paid it. And now they've sent the thing out saying you've got to provide a roadworthy and transfer fees and all this sort of stuff. So I need to either cancel that or move really quickly on getting it on the road. And I think cancelling it's probably better because I wasn't planning on getting it registered yet. What do I have to do on that? I've got to sort out the dash. If it doesn't work, still it doesn't work. I just want to check the pinouts again. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I just want to check it again. Put that back together, that's 5 minutes. I've already painted and fitted a rear bumper to it. There's some video footage on that, which I'll bring out after this one. And change the engine mounts, and I want to replace all the brakes, clean the engine. Actually, it's not that much, now I think about it. I'm just a bit strapped at the moment because Rosie just had her 18th last night and she wants a new laptop, and she doesn't want a normal laptop, she wants a Mac, which is the pink one. But she's only 18 once, right? So, anyway, the other bit of news, which is really probably not good for me, but has been good for a lot of people, is Toyota are now replacing airbag inflators in STARlies. So I'm assuming the buyback's finished. It's just something I've read where they're not saying anything about a buyback in the letter. They're just saying, as from June, whatever, July, whatever, 15, I don't know what the date is, you can take it in to get the airbag inflator replaced, which has been, well, it's not great from people like me, but it's also, if I had my time again, I probably would have done the same as I did because I ended up with a better car. And the other thing is, with the money we got for both of those cars, I gave it to the kids because they all lost their jobs in the COVID thing. So it helped them a lot. So from that viewpoint, it wouldn't be any different for me. And we got some videos out of it. The STARlie videos don't normally go as well as the other ones do, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. The only thing I'm a bit sad about is throwing the blue one out. That was the one I used to do a lot with Mum in, and it's looking, her health is just taking a big hit, and it's now looking like she won't be able to leave the place she's in a car. So I might not be able to get her into this one. I need to get her out of there because she's banged up in 4 walls for months, and she needs to get out and go for a drive through Warrandyte and stop for coffees and stuff, but she might not be able to, so we're just got to see how that goes. But this means this video is the last one on the STARlie until we get her on the road, then we'll just do a road test or something. We'll finish off the Bluebird, and I've got to get back into the bikes. So, is there anything else I need to add? No, I don't think there is. I hope you enjoy. This is the factory rear speaker wiring. Every STARlie has this, as far as I know. Rear speakers are standard on the 5-door, but not 3-door. You can get them, I think, on the Max or something like that. I'm not sure, but as far as 3-door is concerned. But there were special packages like the Life Max, I think it was, that had rear spoiler and a CD and rear speakers, something like that. Rear headrest, I think it had. I'm not sure. But there's a hole that's supposed to be in here. I'm just going to just push it through here, if I can, which I'm not sure if I can. we'll tape it to the bottom of the catch so we don't sort of get it in the way of the when the rear seat latches. So I'll just cable tie it to that bottom bit. I'm going to flip this up. That just screws on and clips on and all that sort of stuff. And these clips go in there. Like that. And then to hold the parcel tray, I'll just do that seatbelt up. These things I'm particularly proud of because they're in such great condition. These things are always sunburned up there. These ones aren't. They're incredibly good. And sort of get over there. Experiencing some difficulty. There's holes that they. Yep. There it is. Hang on. I'd say these seatbelts rang, so I think I had them upside down. They still look upside down. Find the bolts, put them in. I've got to put this seat in. These are good. They just go straight in, no worries. 2 bolts each one. And tighten them up and you're good to go. Actually, I'll just try and tighten it in. We've strapped that wire for the rear speaker down so it won't interfere with where this thing latches on there. And we put the boot mat in and I think I'm pretty much done. For tonight anyway. I'm tired now, I want to go inside and have a shower. But you sort of get on a roll and, you know. This is all stuff I had stored in the XD and Hubnut came to drive it and had to remove it all and put it out. These were out of a different car, so one's faded on the top and the other one's not. Clips in. This is all sort of crinkled because it's been lying in the XD. Oh, there it is, somewhere there. And this was another thing. This mat was out of that car, burgundy coloured one at the wrecker, and everything out of it, even the headlight covers. I got headlight covers too, and they were just mint. Everything was mint in that car. It was a '98, so no doubt it's a car that strikes again. But that one didn't go back through Toyota, it just went to the wreckers. And it was such a clean car, it was a shame to see it there. So much stuff was wasted. So, that's just the end of it, eh? But yeah, I got a lot of stuff out of it. Paid a lot for 3 Jollies. Pick apart's more reasonable than Jollies is. Jollies can be quite expensive. Right, hang on a minute. Straighten that down. Hang on a minute. Right. We've got that clipped in. We're lucky we've got good clips for it. That will just plug in. Actually, I still haven't got that in a great spot. There we go. All good. Okay, well I've been on this road stacks of times in my videos. 2 seat covers. That's out of the burgundy car, the 5-door one. The runners are different but the seats are exactly the same. That's out of the red car that was written off and that was washed. And it's not perfect, but what do? They're both passenger seats. They've both got the switch in them, which wasn't on 97, 96 cars. It was only on 98, 99. But that doesn't matter, we don't need to have it connected. Basically I'm going to pick the best cover the best frame, which is that one, and the best foam, which on tip is that one as well. That looks a bit yuck. Lots and lots of videos on this sort of stuff. And I never use, you can tell I've had this off before, they're just netting clips for fencing and that sort of stuff. It's very quick and easy to change. In fact, when I take these off and wash them in the machine, this is how I'm doing it. So if anyone hasn't seen that stuff, if you have, you can get through it quickly, fast forward it, whatnot. Yeah. Otherwise you can just fast forward it. The covers come off very easily by compressing them. There's a plastic envelope like that. Oops. And I'm on a plastic table and I'm worried that the legs are going to fold in. You just got to watch. The only thing about these, which I don't like, is they never use safety folds on the metal. So they're very, very sharp. The edges are sharp. And if you get out of this without cutting yourself, you're doing well. And you can see we're free. The only thing you need to do now is push down and flick it inside out. And it'll come on. There's one more listing. They're the same on this side. And this is how I wash them. This is why I don't bother steam cleaning. I just wash them in the machine. Two more wires. Oh, actually these aren't wires, these are plastic as well. Just make sure you pick up any of this sort of stuff because it goes into tyres and you've got yourself a nice, beautiful puncture. Oh, that one came off anyway. Didn't even have that in properly. Don't be asked. Whoops. Two more on my home free. Oops. And there it is. These use a switch, pressure switch. That's for the when the passenger sits down, the light flashes on the dash. 97s don't have it. That looks a bit mangy, that foam. I don't like steam cleaning seats because they've been steam cleaned, they're rusty, and the listing goes all rusty. If you wash them in the machine without the wires in them, get them out drying properly, and these are all in good condition, you just stick them back in. And there's no moisture that stays in the foam. You know, I just don't like that. I think it's, well, it's the only way to do it really, because labour intensive wise, this is actually not very good. But that's the cover we'll use. So I'll take this one apart and have a look at that. So that's the original foam. Out of the maroon coloured car, the 5-door, it had never been apart. They're the original, oh, I'll cut this off. They're the original C-clips or hog rings. Back in the 80s I worked at a trimming place and they never called them hog rings, they were always known as C-clips. Why am I bleeding? Yeah, so I'm just using fencing ones, which are different. These are actually sharpened. The original ones are sharpened so they can pierce through trim. They're the pliers we use. I better get a band-aid for that. And I'm just using these netting clips from the local hardware shop. These are around $7, I think, for 500. And you'll retrim a couple of cars with these. And, whoops, they're just like that. They're the same sort of thing. Stick them in the pliers. You can buy pliers like this and they crimp around. Let me just go and get a band-aid for this and I'll be back. So basically make a choice. I'm thinking this one, it's cleaner underneath. This has been in storage for a long time and it's dirtier underneath or rustier underneath. The other thing is the foam starts to break down after some time. But it's all moulded foam. It's designed to sit in the pan. So look, we'll put that to the side. I don't think we need that one at the moment. And we can just put this one together. I would like to wash that again, but I'm not going to. I think, you know, there's a certain amount of stress you put it under if you wash it in the machine, but I'm not going to do it. When normally I would. If it was dirtier, I certainly would. The other thing is, if you need trim for your car, you always buy a passenger seat. Most of the time, the driver's and passenger seat frames and padding and squabs and cushions, everything are all the same. It's just the bracketing that's different. Some cars will have different padding or different frame. That's something for your own research. These are just simple though. They're lovely, but that's one of the reasons I like the cars is because they're just so simple. So I'm just going to secure these down. We've got a wire that runs in the foam. We just squeeze around the wire, just like that. So I will go round, do that. So there's two there, which we've done. There's two here, and I'll come back. I always start with the back. We're just going to roll it down, over, like that. This side, over, and then the fronts. We just have to be a bit careful that we don't tear anything. So we're going right to the edge with the foam, or the padding, whatever way you want to call it, and we're just flicking it around and under. Just watch those sharp edges though, I can feel them. That's probably how it cut myself before. This is the last one. If it's a cold day, not a bad idea just to heat the material up with a hairdryer, because that's when you'll damage it, if you're going to damage it at all. So that's alright. We'll just bring it around, and again we push. We'll just keep our fingers away from those sharp edges. Seems to be unique to Japanese cars, not so much Australian ones. And that will just plug in into that channel. You'll feel it click when it's right. And that's not there yet. There's a little envelope in there, which it'll sit in. So you'll feel it. The edge is in. There you go. So we'll just get that around and in. I'm not on a stable surface, which is one having a bit of, not trouble so much, but it's not as good as it could be. Okay, quick visual. Yep, looks good. Turning around and we'll just start sticking these things on. There's a listing here, somewhere. Where's that other one? Oh, there it is. It's under here. This one's got to be pulled up and over to there and there. So, but yeah, if you need trim for your car, always get passenger seats because they've got a lot less wear. That's the golden rule. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and button this one up. Really good. Normally we wouldn't use clear cable ties because that's more household, but I just want to keep these plugs out of reach of anything. Click that hole. Then that won't come to any problems sitting under there. Just so it doesn't get tangled in people's feet or whatever. But there you go, it's all done. It's clean. These can be tricky to put in. There's an adjuster rod that sits in. I'm just trying to keep clean. And I don't know how successful I'm being. It sits underneath that listing. So when you take the squab off, that's the squab there, cushion goes underneath. There's a rod that sits over that little spigot and into that groove. So these are the original recliners or seat rails off that dark blue car. Or the car that was dark blue. So we can put this on. And that's all sort of sewn up now, which is cool. Adjusting rails left and right look exactly the same. I don't see any difference. There's the compressor emptying out because I blew out all these seat runners. They sit in these sleeves and there's a little clip there and whoops, there. And they'll clip in. And you just pick it up and move the seat around. I'm just going to try and get it to stay back. There we go. I don't want it to fall. Stay there. What are you doing? Oh crap, where's my cushion? I've got to get the cushion. And then we just put it in. Bob's your uncle. I think most Aussies say Bob's your uncle, don't they? These are just 4 12mm bolts, or 8mm bolts, or 12mm heads. And they're a tapered bolt at the tip. You just screw them in. If I can find my 12mm socket. Where the bloody hell did I put it? I found it already. Okay. I actually love doing this stuff. But it can get frustrating very quickly. I bought a trim kit for the XW, and it was from, I don't know where it's from, but it was a 99-cent auction. I got it for like $350 or something. It was nothing. Full XY Fairmont. What I didn't know was there were good patterns and bad patterns. Well, I did know, but I never thought about it. And so this one was a bad pattern and it didn't fit. And I spent ages trying to get the back seat to fit, and I just couldn't do it. Jason Hill ended up redoing it all. The decent kits, and the decent kits are sometimes advertised with photos of the bad ones, how they fit or how they don't fit. The decent kits, I think, were about $1,500 or $1,400 at the time. At any rate, I'm going to tighten these up, and we've got ourselves a seat. Oh, I've got to put some plastic covers on though. There you go. It's a seat made up out of 3 different seats. I think the bottom frame is from the Burgundy 5-door. The padding is from something else, I can't remember. The bottom covers off the red written off door. The top covers off the Burgundy 5-door. The rear frame's off that car, as are the seat runners. So, I guess it's not as clean as it could have been. I probably should have washed it. It's a little bit, but I might put seat covers on it. I don't want to put them through too much washing. I'll probably regret putting this driver's seat in before or without washing it. The reason is I just want to be able to bleed the brakes. I fixed up the leak. I'm bummed about the paint. I really am. You know, it is what it is. What do you do? The only problem with this is that if I ever go to sell it, everyone's going to think it's a 98 because it's trimmed like a 98. 98 options, 98 seats, steering wheel, which doesn't matter. I don't care because it's not for sale. So very happy. Try this out. Yep, cool. Seems to be pretty good. I haven't got that on properly yet. That's just sitting there. Still got the airbag, but no inflator, right? So the gear, it's all like new. It's new stuff. I probably should have gone the extra mile and cleaned the seats up. I've also damaged the console with the seat runner. That wasn't the best console I had though, so I can change that. But I am very pleased with how it's going. Oh, I better put that cover on the rear hinge. That's so cool. Start him up. So cool. Hasn't been started for a fortnight or 2. So that's pretty good. Right, almost at the end of the STARlie adventure. They're covered in dust, but they're in immaculate condition. So I don't need them, but I might as well stick them on, hey? So, look, it's not perfect. It doesn't matter. I had a few people complaining about the fact that I was using Kmart or Super Cheap Auto. Oh God, I think I just broke that. Did I just break that? Oh man, I just broke it. No, I didn't break it. That's cool. I've got 3 of these, but that's the worst of them. The other 2 are in really good condition. I would like 98 hubcaps. If I could choose, that's what I'd put on. And I've only got 1 of those. Really dodgy because it's half off. It's the contact adhesive I bought, and it's sort of congealed. It's supposed to be the gel stuff, like it's meant to be a bit like that, but yeah, this isn't good. I'm just throwing some spare bits I had from the XC and the XW and the Sigma. I sort of keep bits this size, and this is perfect for the roof panels. This car only had a little bit of it. It was nowhere near as good as this stuff. So I'm just going to pop this on the ceiling of the car before I put the headlining in patches, if you know what I mean, because I mean, I'm not going to buy new stuff because, well, I just don't want to. I just want to, it doesn't matter. You know, we should have put extra underlay all under the carpet and that sort of stuff. I could probably revisit that sort of thing. I scored these from the records. They're genuine STARlie. What do you call them? Headlight covers. I could probably buff them. It's a little bit Not quite perfect. There's no cracks or anything though. Should I put them on? Yeah, I reckon. I reckon they might need a buff though. They were pretty dirty, but they weren't too bad. And I've never seen it. This is the same red car we got all the good gear out of. It was a gold mine. Even the genuine floor mats were out of this red car. It was one of those church on Sundays gigs. I'm sure of it, because the car was just that clean, that good. And apparently, I read on Facebook that Toyota found airbags for them in July. They're going to start fitting them. So, it would have been probably good to know that in advance, but anyway. This is probably crappy what I'm doing. I'm just going around with that tyre cleaner. I've had some silicone lube, I don't know what I've done with it. This is full of silicone anyway. So you don't want to put it anywhere near anything that's going to be painted. So that's the gist of what I'm doing. I'm just wiping off the excess. So I'm sort of hanging it up in the air and just spraying it and cleaning it. It works very well as a cleaner, and also makes it nice and sort of slippery. But as I said, you know, it's probably not great if you're going to be painting something. I would think the paint will never stick again. And given that I'm repainting this, well, I don't know about that. Hang on a minute, where is it? There it is. But it does clean really well, and very easy, just wipe it. The good thing about the Toyota stuff, the rubbers are just perfect. You know, they're very supple, no complaints. Nothing like that. STARlie, no. Doing work on the rear quarter. I'm just wet sanding this target back. You can see we're not there yet. All complete. Looks rather lovely. I still haven't done the rear quarters. I'll get around to that. A couple of people had a go about the Kmart or Super Cheap Auto hubcaps. They're not bad for running up against the curb. It doesn't really matter that much. STARlie headlight covers, they could do with a bit of a clean. A couple of scratches. They're off that red car from the wrecker. They're the worst part off it. See a couple of scratches there? We can fix that. We can just do the, you know, the light buffing treatment on those. That car, that red car, really was a bounty of great bits and pieces. Can I fit in here without hitting the Plymouth? Let me just get in. I haven't vacuumed it yet. Well, giving it a final clean. It looks rather lovely. That gear knob, look at the pattern on it. It's nigh on perfect. Slight red stain there, no biggie. That's off that red car as well. We got our CD player in. We've got the headlining in. Didn't know early. Oh, that's coming off. Didn't know that is a later mirror. The earlier one is a tiny bit wider. The plastic thing that goes over the mirror doesn't fit. I picked this one because it's in better condition than the one that was on here. I don't know what that's off. That would be, yeah, probably my old red car because it's a later mirror. You can see there, headlining's all in. A couple of wrinkles, but that'll all come out. Headlining fits properly. I've just got to go around the C-pillar a little bit better. So yeah, this steering wheel came off that red car as well. The burgundy one at the wreckers. It is flawless. If we get out, still haven't done this guard. I've just got that covered up so I don't get all buffing compound in because it gets into everything. Including on there. That's the mat off that red car from the wreckers. It's absolutely flawless. What else have we got? I've done that guard. Still got residue and just crap all over it, but what do you do? The window's dirty, so it's got to have a nice wash. Looks lovely. That is, I didn't wash that seat, I didn't need it. That one I did. Steering wheel's flawless. That's off that car as well I was talking about. So I still got to do this, but really happy with it. Even the things like, oh, I've got to find that, I've lost that knob. Even the factory Toyota mats came out of that car that I was talking about. Back seat looks good. I'll just move that back. Oh, Rosie's having her 18th tonight and there's people rolling up. Carpentry out of that red car as well. That's looking really, really good. We've got a CD player, we've got our sports dash, all our central lockings working, as are the power mirrors, which are over there. It's looking good. It's all finished under here. Still haven't bled the brakes, but we'll get to that. So I've got to paint the wiper arms and put those on and give it a wash. You can see all that polishing residue, but otherwise the paintwork looks good. It's just transparent. That's the second tailgater painted. I'll put that down. We've got to put some taillights in, give it a clean up. Once I've buffed that, I can put the rear bumper on. The rear bumper's there. So yeah, just putting the rear wiper motor in, and here's our tailgate. Tailgate number 2. So I've still got to line up. I've got a bit of overspray there. Clean that off a bit, but it's all looking fair. So I'll just keep going. I got the washer jet in, and the plumbing for that sits under here. Sort of comes through and just plugs in there. Got to play with the adjustment on the thing. I'm not happy with the adjustment on it. I was going to tighten up that wiper motor and plug it in, and we'll be back. These are interesting. I think that side faces down, so that is going to plug in there. Probably could clean that better. And that's going to plug in that way. No. And then we can put that garnish thing across the back, which I've got somewhere. Where the hell is that? And this again is off the written off car. It's still got its clips intact. And they're actually hard to get out without breaking them. But the one that came off this car was all sort of full of glue and was pretty ready. So that will go over, in there. Hang on, get in there, you son of a gun. Like that. There we go. That's not perfect, but certainly not bad either. Oh damn, I've got to take the wiper motor out again. Okay. Just take the wiper motor out and secure those things. It's not even tightened up, I don't think. I will replace these because they don't work. They didn't look blown, normally they go black. Can't get that out. But these ones still look very nice and clear. So we'll pop some newies in. I was worrying actually because they don't normally blow. There we go. And they fit up into there somehow. Cool. Right, I'll put that wiper motor back in, plug him up, we'll test that out, eh? What I should do. That's good. We'll just check that brake light. The intermittent part's working too. Hang on a minute. We don't have a brake light yet. As far as I can tell, we can just put this back together. Hang on. That's missing a clip there actually. I don't think I've got one. I'm not sure. Just trying to clean up. I put silicone lube. Actually, it wasn't even silicone lube. It was that tie shine stuff on this boot seal, and it's a magnet for buffing compound. But there's all this. That's a scratch. I've just got to give this car a really, really good clean. It looks awful. Globes. We'll bang some new globes in. If I can get this off. Hang on. There we go. Which is your stop tail. That's your stop tail, and they go all sort of horrible. So we'll give it some new ones. These two are single filament, I think. Yep. And yep. I didn't even get a chance to put these in my globe cabinet. Fantastic. They're cleanish. You can take those gaskets out to wash them, and they just literally pop in. There's no screws holding the taillights in. The sockets for the bulbs themselves hold it in and clamp the gasket And I don't know at this point if the reverse lights work. Hang on, if I can get that to go in. There we go. We'll just see how that works. I haven't got the other side buff, so I can't put the other one on yet. We should have a tail light. Yes, we do. I haven't got the Yep, that's cool. The one we haven't got is the bloody brake light. I don't think we've got the brake light. Hang on. We don't have a brake light yet, and I don't know why. I noticed that with the center brake light. I've just got to adjust this tailgate because it's closing. It's closing, but it's not quite right. It feels all right. I think it has to go that way a bit. These, I drew a map off a video I took a while ago. Oh, come back, don't go up. And to place these will want to come off with the backing tape. And this is quite strong backing tape. These stickers are from, I've got the envelope somewhere here. These are great. They're from STARlie shop. I actually wanted to ask him if he could move the E over and put the T in there without the two cross bits. So it says STARlie. That's what I always refer to the car as. The STARlie. So we're going to take this off. I'm wearing my reading glasses, so hopefully I can see. But his work is lovely. It's as good as OE. It's really, really good. So we're just not worried about sticking our fingers on the clear bit because that all comes off, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm going to pop it on that line up against the tape. This is sticky as buggery, this stuff. Toyota STARlie. And then we just take the clear off, and hopefully the letters stay on the boot lid where they're meant to be. And again, you know, we're just gonna, and I only scuffed this and painted it, so I didn't prepare it, you know, as well as I probably could have. But we don't want the chance that it's going to pop off or take any paint with it, because it is extremely sticky. So there we go. Fine line tape's great. Again, Milsims, I always plug them. They don't give me anything. I always plug them because I think they're just brilliant. And that says, certainly, I didn't just damage that, did I? Has that got fluff in it? I don't think so. That's going to be good. Toyota. Wait, I think I mentioned this in another video. Actually, when you buy the genuine life stickers, these are very feminine, but I'm going to put them back on anyway. They come with a template. That's for the side marker light, or side indicator, I should say. What am I talking about? This one's designed to, you can gauge the width of the, or where the sticker's supposed to be by putting it against the boot lock and the edge of the boot. I'm using non-genuine ones. I've got a full set of them. Got the last ones available. For some time I've had them now, but I'm just going to measure this out and put it there and we should be good. Cool. You, I forgot something. The badge. This is the old one that I scraped all the old tape from. It's very thin. This is great stuff. Again, from the usual paint supplier. It's $9 a roll, and you can stick it on stuff and shave it down with a blade, and it doesn't relent. It's really, really good stuff. You use this with side mouldings with a sort of bead of urethane between. So I'm just going to center this underneath the high mount brake light here, and just bang it on. Should be right. That is looking a bit better, isn't it? I've just got to do this guard. That's it. Well, not really. Look at these things. They throw a heap of air out. That's what they're there for. Ventilation. Right. I also forgot. I'll tell you what I forgot. I forgot to put the remote releases in there. I'm going to pack up for now. I'll get back to it tomorrow. The other thing I've got to do is fit these mouldings in. I've got them on the roof of the Sigma. I might hang them in this garage and just let them straighten out a bit because they're all over the joint. Right, STARlie, everything is looking fairly peachy. I've just readjusted the rear brakes, bled all the brakes, and I've done that side. That's all finished now. Looks nice. Pity the freaking colour's so transparent. I'm putting a little twin cam sticker. That looks nice. Pretty pleased with the finish on it. Everything electrically is sound and perfect and running except brake lights. And I know the switch is alright because I set it up with a multimeter, with a continuity tester. So I know the switch is working. All the earth points in the back are working because all the other lights are working. So it could be either a fuse or a feed issue. If it's a feed issue, I will just take the fuse box out and bridge another feed into it. I'm not going to muck around. So currently, I've got yoke carbon tyres. And we've washed the inner guards. We'll put those on the front. Got those beautiful factory mats for the back. I'm just going to use this one. This is the one I was using, the blue cone. Rosie spilled coffee all over it, so I'm just going to wash that. That's N14 Pulsar Solaire. Mother had one years ago. That was buried in stones. I think we detailed it and just chucked them in the garage and I resurrected them. That'll come up nicely. And of course I've just used rubber mat in the front. Bit of sugar soap. This stuff's brilliant. For God's sake, buy some. $3.50 or $4 or something for a concentrate like that, and you will wash things and they will clean up beautifully. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a scrub, drain it off, dry it out, stick it in the car, and mark my words, it will look good. Well, time to keep going. Ordinarily you probably wouldn't bother, but I went to Super Cheap. It's Sunday today and it's the only place open, and the only mats that have a crap. So this will be fine. Just going to put the phone down and just hose this off with the spray and it'll look good. Just putting this inner guard on. These are things for mud flaps, I think. They're a little bit distorted, but oh, I've got to clean that up too. That doesn't look too good, does it? Oh, gosh, get in there. Hang on a minute. Can't get that in. I'll muck around with that. And there's also a bracket I missed over here, so I've got to take that out again. Because I forgot to put something on. And Toyota experts with clips. They're clips for every occasion. A few finishing touches. Just put the inner guard on. It's not that clean. I gave it a bit of a clean up, but it finishes it off. So I'll do the other side and put the wheels on. Oh, I've got to put that split pin through there too. Right, a couple of finishing touches before we fit the bumper. There's a couple of grommets. I lost the one. I don't know what happened to this one, but I just bought this, and I think there's another couple. Yeah, there's one under there as well I've got to fit, and on the other side, and then we can put the bumper on. The thing about the plastic bumpers is you're less likely to scratch anything when you put them on. Screws, bolts, whatever. There's an inner guard thing that goes in as well, and then they sort of snug under there. I'm just going to hang it first, and then I'll worry about the finer details once I've got it hung. Because it doesn't weigh anything, it's purely cosmetic, this thing, it doesn't really do anything. And we're almost done. We're almost done, so we can almost celebrate. I want to show you what I'm going to do with rego plates too. I'm going to put an old one on. I've got some old family plates I bought many years ago. I'm just going to fold up the side of these and we're done. Almost done. I'm running out of Windex. I've got my own stash of Windex here because otherwise wifey will use it. Hang on, I've said again. But I need to buy more, and I was at the shop before, and got to pick it up. I've got to go around. The car needs a wash, but I can't wash it at the moment because I need to glue on those drip rail things. Just just give it a bit of a quick skirmish like that and try and make it a little bit prettier. Just give me a bit of a dust off, particularly polishing residue. Got a few choices come registration time with general issue. I think the blue one was 1MR5CL. I find them difficult to remember. These are old family plates that I bought the rights to years ago, and I had them on MGs and Galaxy and a Mercedes-Benz two-door. That's the one, there you are. That was originally the Elgo Tirana one. I don't think we use that because Mum's nearly killed in it. Thinking about this one. That's AP6 family car, and of course the KZR, which was the XY family. They're the ones I really wanted to have on the XW. It would fit that car really well, rather than the club ones, but at $800 a year registration, what's the point? Look, it's not the sort of thing I'm going to bang on about for long. These are floor mats, obviously. Now, these are cheap replacements. These are out of the XD. I only got them to sort of... The car's got its original carpet and it's in very good condition, so I just wanted something to cover them up. They're rubbish. They're total rubbish. These aren't very old. The pile of the carpet gives way, let's go up, tufts of rubbish, and the backing on it is more like a vinyl. It doesn't stick to anything. It doesn't even dig into the carpet, it kind of skates around, even though it's got those sort of studs on it. Aftermarket floor mats are crap. This is one, an old one. These don't tuft. In fact, it's much better getting an old mat like that, taking it to a trimmer and having a heel mat sewn into it. So they'll unpick this, sew in a new heel mat, and it's going to last a lot longer. This one here has a much better rubber backing. It's got that sticky stuff on it. It's a little bit threadbare. I don't think I'll keep this one. I will throw it out. But in saying that, if you look at these are N14 Pulsar out of a car we had. Brilliant quality. Very good quality rubber on the back. These have never been cleaned. They're just in incredible condition. But being in the back, obviously there wasn't many back passengers, so they didn't get much use. These are well worth keeping. These are also 1993 or 94 when we got that car. And they're well worth it. The front one that we cleaned up before has come up just as well. Absolutely beautiful. You can see where it was hanging on the clothes, so that'll come out. But the pile of it is in great condition. There's nothing wrong with it. And it will last longer than an aftermarket. That will fit in the STARlie, so I'll throw it in right now. This was the sugar soap one. And it fits in beautifully. Just like that. And there's our car. We've got those beautiful Nissan or factory Toyota mats at the back. They're in incredible condition. I'm very happy with that. What I need to do though, I've got to find the trim for the mirror there. I need to find where that is. Don't know where that is. But the rest of the car looks absolutely mint. Let's have a look. The classic plates really suit it. So they're the ones we're going to get on, if we can. I don't know, I can't see any reason why not. Haven't run the wipers yet. Just got a rattle can nose. Put the trim on there, which I think is in the Sigma. I'm going to get stoned to death for using super cheap auto hubcaps, but it's a daily. It's what we've got. I don't really care. We've got a slimline for the front, which was, those were on the MG originally. So I think it's going to do it. Another thing aside from the wipers, I need to put the drip rail mouldings in. I need to hang them off the ceiling with a heat gun, just pull them nice and straight, and then we can urethane them in. But I think that'll do. Oh, that's better. There you go. What do you reckon? Do you like it? I really love it. I reckon it's great. And, you know, in some ways, it's a pain in the neck because we had to do it in the first place, and then they've reneged on the buyback and said, yeah, you know, we're going to replace your airbag modules and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm sort of glad I had the opportunity to do it. It's everything in that model that I would be after if I was to buy a new one. And it looks fairly new too, so I'm quite happy. So with that in mind, I'd like to say thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. We won't be able to do any more STARlie videos now. I've sort of flogged the subject to death, I guess, with all these ones I've been doing. So the car's booked in at the end of next week for roadworthy, and the following week for a visit to Vic Roads to be sighted. And they check the numbers and make sure it's all good before they let you register. So those plates hopefully will be legally on the car soon. They're just there for these pictures. But you know what? After that, we've got to get that white bluey on the road and get into some bikes and finish the XC and all sorts of other stuff. So anyway, as I was saying, I hope you've enjoyed this. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Well, I guess plugging in the brake light switch helps. What do you reckon? Shit.